Hello everyone, hello and welcome to the Wave Race 64 speedrun rankings. Today is January 2nd, 2021, and this is for the period from October 1st to December 31st, 2020. I am Dr. Fusion. I'll be your host for today. We have quite fun rankings coming. We have some new players, we have an announcement, we have some really awesome stuff here. So why don't we go ahead and get started right into the honorable mentions tiers. So for this we have our tier. So first I'm going to announce our new tier 2 players. Boom. So in our tier 2 we have Baba Kanoosh, Bunta, and Ryan Warner all returning. Ryan Warner codes in chat. Hello everybody, what's going on? Shibby, thank you for the host, my guy. I appreciate it a lot. But let's go through and talk about each of these players. We have Baba Kanoosh, who is a very, very good player, especially on the course of Sunny Beach. He currently holds, I believe, 11th place with a 103.7. I want to say it's a pretty nice, but a little bit on the higher side of a 103.7, but also still almost top 10 nonetheless, as well as the benchmark lap. And he has some other courses like Sunset Bay and Port Blue that I know that Baba has played. Always fun to see him come back and drop some Sunny Beach, but would also love to see an expanding time sheet from him. And so next we have Bunta, who has not been very active as of late, but has a well-rounded, complete timesheet. And so we definitely enjoy having Bunta around the community. Yes, I will turn the music down a tad. No problem. This is why I asked about that. So yeah. And then lastly, or not lastly, but we have a new player here. And to our list we have C-Doc, who has been coming in and dropping some very nice times, specifically in the reverse ILs. He has top 20s on every single track, including multiple top 15 times, and reverse over the last couple of years has become very strong, and so getting these top 15 times is a great way to start. We also have a couple of 1-lap submissions and a Southern Island 3-lap, and we hope to see much more from C-Doc as we move along. And lastly, we have Ryan Warner, who has played many of the forward courses. Has dabbled a little bit into reverse, but overall an expanding timesheet. It's always great to have you around in our Twitch chats and in the community in general. So yeah, congratulations to each of the players for making the list and being tier 2 honorable mentions, which is usually reserved for players who are not very active and are newer and have expanding timesheets. And so now let's go ahead and continue on, and we're going to move into our tier 1 honorable mentions. So tier 1 honorable mentions are players who are just ranked slightly favorably over the tier 2 players. Most of them have one or multiple benchmarks, or just have an overall strong timesheet. So I will now reveal them. We only have 3 honorable mentions, as this time around we have a couple of players who have gone inactive. So these players have not submitted a time. They both have full timesheets, but they both have not submitted in over 2 years. Those people being Gilly Guide and Koiro Hoshi. And of course, we would always love to see a return from these players and see them come back and get a few PBs and, prove that, they're back in the community, and then they can be ranked again, of course. And as goes for any of the other inactive players that we have, there are countless numbers of them. who are great players, but just don't either have the full timesheet, or they don't have, or they just haven't played in the last few years. But in our Tier 1 honorable mentions, we have andypanther returning. We have Etos, who is returning. He's not a new player. He is indeed returning. But moving up into the Tier 1, we have Zubidu, who has been doing very well for himself across the board in this game, with many top 20, top 15 times, top, like 11th places, 10th places. He has 2 top 10 times overall in reverse, Glacier Coast reverse and Southern Island reverse. We'd love to see more. We love to see more and more from Zuby as he improves. On a lot of the more competitive courses, his times are still hold up well, but they're just not quite as strong as others. Those being Sunny Beach, Sunset Bay, and Drake Lake, which, you know, when he feels ready to go back to the courses, he will definitely go back and get some very good times. So yeah. And Etos hasn't really had any activity since he came on very strong last time around. But he still holds top 10s, I'm pretty sure, almost completely across the board. However, his lack of an expanding timesheet kind of has prevented him from moving up into the top 10. But if he comes back and keeps dropping these super strong times, there's no doubt he will make it up into the top 10 part of the list. And andypanther, always the strong player, very consistent timesheet. He's improved across forward, and he's improved across forward. His reverse times have always been very good, but he definitely has stepped it up in forward in the Olympics last year. And just always enjoy having Andy around. And now, before we move in to our top 10, I want to go ahead and I'm going to find a song. There it is. I'm going to find Twilight City music, because I'm going to, number one, give a shout out to our panel of people who put together this list. This list is put together by 5 great people, 4 other people, and myself. andypanther is on this, As Money, MyOhMyPancakes, Shibbypod, and myself. And so I want to take this time, I'm going to leave a little bit of suspense as we head into the top 10, and I'm going to point our attention down to the Legends category. As you see, we have 3 people there. We have Jason Walls, Stefan Marla, and we have Illudude. However, this time, we get to add a new legend. And this player, we all know him. We all love him. It is our reigning, defending Wave Race 64 champion, as we welcome Shibbypod into the Legends category of the community. Very well earned, an amazing player, outstanding, pretty much at everything in the game. See how I messed this up. Sorry, okay. But we welcome Shibby to the Legends, pretty much the Wave Race 64 Hall of Fame. He has been the champion of this game for 6.5 years. That is the longest. I mean, from what we know, it's very likely the longest or the second longest time that someone has been champion, and he has been the champion throughout the modern era of the Wave Race 64 speedrunning community. He has countless untied records that have stood for many, many years. His longest standing untied world record being the Twilight City 123, which he has held since 2015. Another being his long-standing Drake. He had the Drake Lake Reverse 111 untied from 2014 to 2017. The Glacier Coast 1 lap 23 has been untied since 2016, and then the Glacier Coast 114 3 lap has been untied since 2017. There are so many great times that Shibby's put up, and his impact in the community obviously goes way beyond his gameplay. it goes into how he has led the community, how he has been such a great figure for Wave Race. And so it's just awesome that I get the honor to induct him pretty much into the Legends wing of the Hall of Fame. And so yeah, on behalf of the community, thank you for all you do for us and all you're gonna obviously continue to do. And so let's move on from here and go to, I want to say this track. One second. Sure, we'll go with this music. We'll go with the Sunny Beach music here for our number 10 player. Returning to number 10 this time around, he has played this game for so many years, and he is still ranked in the top 10. It is Androgen, the Androgen. He has great times across the board on most of the tracks. I believe he has, top 10 on pretty much all of Dave's phase and top 15 or top 10 throughout all of Reverse. He has a very, very strong timesheet. However, he has not been very active in the last couple of years, so it's going to get closer to the time where he might start being in the realm of not having submitted in the last couple of years and being eligible for possible inactivity. However, I think that we'd love to see Androgen come back and submit some times. And he's a great moderator for the community. He does so much for us, and we just would love to see him have some play the game some more and have some amazing times that he's capable of putting up. Alright, and next up, I'm going to not switch the music quite as often in this video, so we're going to move right on into number 9, and he has moved down a spot, but his times are still incredible. We have MDK1. MDK came in the kind of around the beginning of last year and began tearing up the leaderboards. However, he, as mentioned last time, he does have some he unfortunately has does not quite have the the setup to be able to record. However, his times are extremely strong, and during the time period that where we had lowered where the standards for submission of videos was lowered a bit, he submitted so many strong times. Drake Lake 111.4, 103 Sunny Beach, 105 Sunset Bay, 108 Sunset Bay Reverse. Strong times across the board. 124 on Twilight City, 118 on Port Blue. I believe he got a pretty low 116 on Glacier Coast, and 114 Southern Island. So, congratulations, and we definitely are looking forward to seeing more of you in the next coming year. And next up, returning back up to number 8. He came back in the last couple of months and has dropped some massive bombshell times. We have Modal, one of the Modal being one of our super moderators for the community, along with myself. He is just an outstanding community member and a great player. He pretty much dropped almost an entire second off of his Twilight City Reverse time in just pretty much less than a week. And it's just so great to see Modal playing again and having fun. We look forward and hope to see more from Modal in the next coming ranking period, coming years. So yeah, Modal, an outstanding player, has earned his place to move up to number 8. And next on the list, we are going to move. I believe we're going to use this. Nope. Yep, we're going to use this music. We're going to use some Drake Lake music here because we are going to talk about one of the legends of our community. We have number 7 returning is Illudude. Illu has been inactive for this last ranking period. However, his times stand extremely strong. The ones that he has submitted, he does not have every single time submitted, which unfortunately does hurt his rank a little bit. I believe, you know, we all would love to see him play whatever he wants, and so it's not, you know, it's just great to have him being active again in the community, as he took quite a long time off. Yeah. Modal, yeah, just amazing and great times from these players. Ilu recently came back during Olympics and dropped times on Sunset Bay, Twilight City, Glacier Coast, and he played Drake Lake. He didn't PB, but he played Drake Lake, and instantly was pretty much higher level than most other players in the community may even ever get, especially like getting a 1:11.1 in the Olympics, which was insane. On, you know, pretty little D-Rust. So yeah, congratulations on keeping your spot here in the rankings. And so let's move on to number 6. Number 6, we're getting into some really elite category. Every single player from here on out has a full timesheet, both in RTA and in ILs. And so number 6, we have As Money. We have As Money is a really great player and has really put in the time in the last year, especially in the last months. He just recently, even though I know it doesn't count for this ranking period, he just got the 116 standard on Port Blue Reverse today, and he got it with a 116.7, which is 4th place on the leaderboards. So congratulations to As Money on that time, and congratulations yeah, on just a great overall timesheet, really improving. I see the improvement all the time with you. It's so cool to see. Now I'm going to switch the music here. I want to say this is probably Port Blue music. If it's not, please let me know in chat. And just want to continue and okay, I might have slightly messed up something, but not a big deal. Anyways, we're going to move to number 5. Number 5. This music also suits this player very well. It is going to be none other than Metalhead. Metalhead does move down a spot here, and it's nothing of his own play, of his own accord, of him being inactive, not playing. In fact, he's played, he's put up great times. And however, there's been another player who we'll talk about next who has put up some incredible times of his own. So Metalhead having times such as 103.3 on Sunny Beach, 105.7 on Sunset Bay, Drake Lake 111.6 or 0.7. I'm going to go ahead and take a look. I'll pull up Metalhead's timesheet while I'm looking at this. 111.719 for Metalhead. I believe he also has 118.3 on Drake. Yep, for 4th place on Port Blue, 118.3. Marine Fortress 108.8, 6th place. Top 4. He has a lot of top 4s and top 6s on courses that are extremely difficult. Marine Fortress, Port Blue, Twilight City are all 3 of his best courses, and then the 2nd place on the 3 lap of Sunny Beach, the 4th place on the 1 lap, and a 106.2 on Sunny Beach Reverse, which is a very tough course. He also recently achieved the 108.8 on Sunset Bay Reverse, which is 5th place. Just overall strong times. What I'd like to see from Metalhead, to see him move up the list, definitely would be some reverse times. There are definitely some courses like Marine Fortress and Twilight City that I can see you blowing your times out of the water and getting standard, if not benchmark, on these tracks. So, man, you're a great player, and it's awesome and to see all your progress, and looking forward to seeing more of what you can do in the next year. And next up, we're gonna keep with this music, and we're going to move on to number 4. Number 4, he has been putting in so much work in the last 6 months. We have Mr. MyOhMyPancakes. He's just been putting on a clinic on every single course. He has, with the release of the Shibbypod 3 times, that unfortunately, that project has been postponed. So a lot of the times have been revealed, and some of them were very strong by Pancakes. He has now achieved all of the benchmarks on Dave's faves with the Sunny Beach 103, Sunset Bay 105, Drake Lake 111. He has a 111.549. He's top 10 on Drake Lake. He's 5th place on Marine Fortress. His Marine Fortress times are all 6th place or better. His Sunny Beach time is top 20. He now has no time outside of the top 20, and really, Sunny Beach just being such a crowded course, a 103.8 is definitely a great time. But I know he's going to want to improve it. Port Blue top 10, Twilight City 125, 505 for 11th. I believe he could definitely improve that to the 124. These players these last 3 players that we talked about, I believe can pretty much PB anywhere they want. Yeah, even Metalhead on Sunny Beach, I'm pretty sure that if you put the time in, you could definitely get a point too. It would be a very long grind, but you could do it. So yeah, congratulations to Pancakes. Congratulations on your outstanding season, and also to mention he did get the Drake Lake Reverse 111, which he submitted as well as the Sunset Bay 108, Sunset Bay Reverse 108. That time's becoming a lot more common, which is awesome to see. All right, and now we're entering into. No. Sure, we'll go with this one. Alright, so now we're moving into top 3. We're moving into some hard and heavy territory. Number 3, returning. It's Game. Game is returning. I don't believe he has any new submitted times, but his timesheet is filled with everything top 6 times for Game. His obviously 6th place being on a few courses, mainly just Sunny Beach 3 and 1 lap. Everything else is 5th or better. Sunny Beach 103.5, that's a really good time. Sunset Bay 105.2, Drake Lake 111.4. I could go on and on about how great Game is. He has 3rd place or better on every single reverse course, including a world record on Drake Lake Reverse with the 111.222. And that record has stood for quite some time now. So, man, Game is such a great player. His full runs don't quite tell the story. Oh, I should also mention for the last 3 players prior, As Money, Metalhead, and MyOhMyPancakes, there's no problem with their RT. All their RTs are all 5th place or better. If you look at the leaderboards, you're going to see pretty much most of the players in the top 6 are going to be your RTA top players, and Iwu has 3rd place on Championship Expert still, with that legendary 1305. Alright, so moving on to number 2. In number 2, what music to give to number 2? How about this one? Sure, Southern Island music. This is one of my favorite songs, personally, as we give number 2 to myself, Dr. Fish. I pretty much have continued to improve my timesheet, and now I believe I don't have a single time outside of the top 5. And it might actually be top 4 now. No, I have a couple of top 5. So I'm just going to run down some notable times by myself, as I like to do for every player, just to kind of give an idea of each player's timesheet. Sunny Beach 103.3, which I recently achieved. I have world records on 4 of the 8 reverse courses, which gives me, because Game has the world record on Drake Lake Reverse, I actually became the reverse IL champion. I'm not the full champion of the game, of course, that belongs to Shibbypod, but I have 4 world records in reverse. I have in the Sunset Bay 3-lap world record, Sunset Bay untied 107, Port Blue 115.0, and Twilight City 134.004. I mean, every single course is just outstanding. So many second places. Really, the only times that I'd say are not quite up to my standards would be my Drake Lake 1 lap and my Sunset Bay 1 lap. But everything else has been just great. I'm so thankful to be in this community. And so thank you to everybody who's put so much time into this game. And thank you for, voting me as number 2. I appreciate it a lot. And so I want to move on to our final player, to our rank 1 player, and that's where we move back to Twilight City, and that is where we will give the number 1 spot to our champion Shibbypod. And I know that Shibbypod, as the months go on, gets more and more scared of me as competition. However, it's not quite close yet. It's getting there, but it's not quite close. Shibbypod holds majority of the world records in both ILs and RTA. He holds first place on all RTA categories besides Championship Reverse, which I hold the world record. But just countless untied world. He has a few untied world records left in Twilight City 3 lap, Twilight City 1 lap, Glacier Coast 3 lap, Glacier Coast 1 lap, Southern Island 1 lap, and Southern Island Reverse. Yep, those are all of the times. And also, he does have a 21.442, which if the benchmark moves on Marine Fortress, technically that's an untied, considering that we do the 1 laps by the half, by like every 500th, by every 5/10ths. We will be able to move benchmarks and standards. So yeah, Shibbypod is such a great ambassador for our game, like I mentioned earlier, and now in the Legends wing of our community. And so this is your list for the final ranking periods of 2020. As we enter 2021, thank you. I again just want to say thank you to everybody. I want to say, this community is so awesome. And if you're interested in the game, we do have our Discord, which you can find on our website, which is right above me, speedrun.com/WR64. And there you will find our leaderboards. You will find a link to our Discord. We have conversations pretty regularly, and everyone's welcoming and willing to answer questions and just have fun and play this wonderful game that we all love called Wave Race 64. So on behalf of the rankings panel, on behalf of the community, I have been Dr. Fish, and you have been awesome, and we will see you in the next rankings. Have a great night.